While there in Paris, much of the talks revolves around curbing greenhouse gas emissions and easing global dependence on oil. But oil and gas giants are going to the harshest climates at the farthest reaches of the earth to find more energy. CCTV's Sean Calebs takes us to Dead Horse in Alaska, on top of the world, where crews work 3 weeks on and 3 weeks off to keep the supply of oil and gas aplenty.
This northeastern section of Alaska is dotted with oil rigs, crisscrossed with ice-covered roads, and seemingly everywhere there is pipeline. Far above the Arctic Circle, near the town of Dead Horse, you can find the start of one of the longest pipelines in the world, the Trans-Alaska Pipeline. And over the years, thousands of workers pretty much came with the same question on their lips.
How was I going to stay warm? Growing up in Cleveland, Ohio, of course we had snow, but nothing like this. The cold was nothing like up here.
It doesn't help that virtually all heavy work must be done in the winter. There are no paved roads here. In this environment, people drive on ice-covered earth and the frozen Arctic Ocean. In the summer, these giant rigs are just too heavy to motor around on thawing earth.
That's called a baby gone.
A massive vehicle used to pump water onto ice, to make the ice thick enough for even the heaviest of vehicles.
On the ocean, it might only be a half-a-mile ice road, but it might be 25 feet thick. Because a drilling rig weighs in at 2 million pounds, has got to go over that ice.
At its height, the pipeline carried more than 2 million barrels of oil a day. Today, that number is down to 500,000 daily. But the oil industry expects to feed the pipeline for years and years to come, despite efforts by the U.S. and other nations to dramatically curb reliance on fossil fuels.
I think the reason why investment continues to occur here, exploration, research, regardless of the cost, is we have such mega potential here.
The Oil and Gas Association says there is as much as 50 billion barrels of oil left in Alaska's North Slope. That includes offshore deposits. If that's true, workers like truck supervisor Rusty Watson will continue to risk life and limb to extract energy from this harsh environment.
You can ask the thousands of roustabouts, roughnecks, and oil workers why they come to this frozen patch far above the Arctic Circle to make a living. But the answer is simple and one word: money.
We don't just sit out here and suffer and be cold and just because we like it.
In the winter, it's dark 24 hours a day. Brutal winds and treacherous blizzards. Even though an entry-level job means as much as $28 an hour, these folks earn it.
There is no mountains around here. It's total tundra. When it blows, you can't see where you're going unless you know where you're at.
From the time you walk out the door, not being able to see your hand in front of your face.
Climate change means something different here. It means more of the Arctic is slowly being opened for exploration and extraction of oil and gas. While much of the world tries to pump the brakes on burning fossil fuels, analysts say as long as we're an oil-dependent world, people here can depend on jobs. Sean Calebs, CCTV, Dead Horse, Alaska.